I get the feeling that my camera should be working. Is my camera not working? Hold on. There we go. It was weird. I don't know if it did that for you guys, but it did not show my camera for a second on my stream. So now we're just going to wait. We're going to see what happens. I don't know if this is going to be a long stream today, but, oh, okay, it's just loading. We're going to see what happens. Give people a chance to load in. It's about to get weird, folks. Yeah, Washington, D.C. I love Washington, D.C. Oh, I did. I'm reading your Discord thing right now. No one follows me on Twitter. I'd put out a tweet, but no one follows me on Twitter. Do you guys follow me on Twitter? I haven't even opened up my Twitter in a while. You guys talk amongst yourselves while I check my Twitter. I might as well. You know what? I'll be 17 to contact next to live. Tune in here. All right, we'll try it. To all my 3 people that follow me on Twitter. Let's see. What are you guys talking about? Oh, no, I have all the stuff for interactions. Just no one ever followed me on my Twitter. No one follows me. Alright, I don't know if that's making noise. Oh, that's about to. Alright, let's get out. No, stop. Alright, we'll tweet that out there. How many people do I have on my Twitter? If you guys want to follow my Twitter, I will put out information on stuff. It is at Sergeant Blue Bacon. By the by. Oh, I have 7 followers. Well, thank you so much, 7 followers. It's very kind of you. Joining in. Oh, that's my phone. A message on my Facebook. Oh, man, there we go. All right, since we're waiting for people anyway, I'll check my Facebook. Let's see what we got. And how are all of you, by the way? Having a good time? Sent me a message on my Facebook. I don't. Oh, there we go. Yeah. I see the message. Look at you guys contacting me. I will be, yes. The consumer, I will be calling Metro State on this show. Yesterday, we called him, or we called the phone number associated with Metro State, and someone picked up and said, "Hey, call back during business hours." So now we're here. Yeah. Deuce McDevitt has nailed it much more efficiently than I have. Oh man, from Netherlands? Well, thank you for tuning in. I'm amazed that this is going, this is getting out there to the rest of the world. I've been to the Netherlands. Very nice place. In regards to... Oh, yeah. Alright, I responded on Facebook to pop me your Discord invite link here. Of course I can. Hold on, folks. I feel a sneeze coming on. It's that coronavirus. Yep. You're all infected. Congratulations. Oh no, not YouTube's not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. You guys might experience buffering. Hey, how's it going? Words are hard, folks. I say it all the time. Words are hard. Thank you, Eric. Oh, that sneeze really messed me up. Am I going to use my nasally DeWitt voice on DeWitt? No, I want him to actually talk to me. I actually want to have a conversation with him. I'm gonna be sucking up to him to keep him on the line. And it's not that I'm going to not believe what I'm saying, or I'm not going to agree with what I'm saying. Just don't get upset at me if you think I'm being too nice. Okay? Because I have to balance asking him questions about what he's doing with keeping him on the line, right? And if I'm just screaming at this dude, he's just going to hang up. So, just so you know, I know what I'm doing. Maybe. I hope I know what I'm doing. I have a plan. We'll go with that. I have a plan. Yeah, no tongue in cheek. Just don't tempt me. There we go. Charge $150 per officer. That's what the first person we talked to said was about. He said, I can't speak for our company, but the general rate is $150 per officer. So, if that's what they're saying, I don't know why he'd be like, I can't speak for my company, but here's exactly what my company does. All right. I'm always politically correct. What are you talking about? Well, that's probably not true. I try to be. Oh, the build-up. Yeah. Yep. Ah, thank you, Gail. Let's hope he fakes a different voice this time. I don't think that was Jeremy who picked up the phone. I think that might have been his brother. It's hard to tell with the phone, though. Phone cuts out a lot of audio quality. Don't mind me straining over here. I have a weighted blanket on me, and I'm a weak little guy. That's not true, but weighted blanket's surprisingly difficult to maneuver on a lap. Doesn't matter. It's kind of cold in my room. Well, my closet. I'm still laughing. The fact that the whole thing, this stems from, for those of you who aren't aware, this stems from a comment on my YouTube channel with, I interviewed Carlos, who is in this chat, I believe, about the few times he worked for Metro State. Dude, which one of you is, DeWitt? Yeah, Carlos is right there in the chat. I talked to him about his brief time with Metro State and the Metro State YouTube channel, the one that is linked to on the Metro State website. Put a comment on my video and said, oh, you're just going to interview random people, not confirm who they are? Why don't you set up an interview with our owner? I was like, yes, please. That sounds amazing. Can we do that? And they kind of, I think, were surprised that I was so on board with the idea. So I called yesterday to see if we could schedule something, but I called after 5 Florida time, because, United States is wide. I'm on the left side. They're on the right side. So there's a few hours difference. But yeah, no, making the bed is difficult with these weighted blankets. They're amazing. If you guys don't have a weighted blanket, you're missing out. But it's a struggle. I am careful though, Deuce. I wouldn't. I do believe that. I don't know if I believe. I don't want to be like, oh, I'm super paranoid. But it would not surprise me if there are Metro State people in this stream checking this out. So, be nice. Oh, Eric, I'm all about investigating dirty cops. Hit me with that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No. Be great. You guys making notes for me and stuff. You'd be surprised if his lawyer allowed him to comment. Yeah. I'd be a little surprised too. But let's hope he does. I'm just trying to get his side of the story. I'm not trying to bash him. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to be a jerk. But there are things I have questions about that I would love to have an answer to. And I think this would be a good chance for him to put out that side of the story. Why is it not notifying you when I go live? I do not know. That is a good question. Do you have push notifications for live streaming up or checked? Microphone marked. How's he not in jail? Well, because he paid his bail/bond money, which means that. So the idea with that is you have a bail hearing or bond hearing, one of the two, and your crimes are presented to a judge, I believe. Now, I was law enforcement. I didn't work in the courts, so my understanding of this may be a little flawed. I would recommend doing a little research into it yourself. But he... Sorry, I just got distracted by the chat. He went to that hearing. The judge reviewed what he did and made a decision on whether or not they thought he was a flight risk. So basically to say, pay this amount of money and you won't have to spend the time that this case is going through, the trial in jail. You can, as long as you keep showing up, as long as you meet certain conditions of your bond, you will be fine. And then I believe the money gets returned to you if you meet all those conditions throughout the trial. Otherwise, that money is forfeited, and you then go to jail awaiting the outcome of the trial. I think. Now, I was not involved in that part of the legal system, so I can't give you I can't say that's 100%, but I'm pretty sure that's why, because he was able to pay that money. And he wasn't considered a flight risk, so. Mark Lofton. That name sounds very familiar. Mark Lofton. Florida. Florida's fun. I like Florida. No, I love when things happen in Florida. And someone was talking to me about Florida Man, right? There's that thing like, oh, Florida Man. Like, why is Florida so weird? It's not that Florida is so weird. It's just Florida is very relaxed on the information that they can put out to people like me. People who request it, news media, whatever. Their laws on restricting information about criminal activity are very lax. The rest of the country, it's generally a lot more strict, so it's harder to find out about these weird crimes. But in Florida, it's really easy to look up someone's record, to do public records requests. It's really great. So whenever there's an incident in Florida, I love it, because I know that I'm going to be able to get information on it very, very easily, as opposed to if it happens in California, I'm much more limited. I might have to pay money. Sometimes I actually have to go to the place in California to file the requests I want, which I'm not going to do because I don't live in California. It's a whole thing. So Florida's not necessarily more weird than the rest of the United States. It's just we hear more about the weird stuff. So it's great though, because I get to find out more information. I'm a big fan of information. But yes, Florida is a zoo in some parts. But most states have a zoo-like area. Orange Blossom Trail in Orlando. Ah, perfect. Yes, people in my Discord are putting up that Mark Lofton thing. Perfect. I'll check that out. I will check that out. Imagining his Florida and his weirdness was keeping this country together. That's right. All right. Do we think we're ready to call Metro State? See what's up. Now, we might not get to actually have the conversation today. We might just schedule it for a later date. I'm probably just going to be like, look, contact me on my my Gmail, my email account. That's the word I'm looking for. So we might not have an actual conversation. So I'm just telling you guys that right now so that you're not disappointed in the future. But we're going to try to make contact and schedule that. Goes right to voicemail. Well, I'll leave a voicemail. I'm more than happy to leave a voicemail. As long as I am trying to set something up. I'm going to keep pursuing this. If they're going to leave comments on my YouTube channel, then, you know. Sorry, I just got distracted. Hardesty, how's it go? Hardesty, you don't have to donate. You guys, look, I love that you're donating money, and it's going to go to good things for this channel. It's just so weird that I get donations. Thank you so much. We gotta be careful with calling ourselves Baconators, though. That's amazing, dude. Thank you so much. Yeah, no, Baconators is trademarked. Someone said Bacon Bits as the name for my followers, which I kind of absolutely love. But if you have your own ideas of what we should all be calling ourselves, send it my way. For sure. Yeah, that goes directly to my Green River Killer Fund. That's exactly 100% Bacon Bits. You're like, Bacon Bits is just so fun. Oh, was it you? Yeah, it was you. No, I don't have the money to take on Wendy's. I've been thinking about it. I was like, oh, Bacon Bits, that's fun. And now that I'm thinking about it, I kind of do love it. So if you guys have ideas, throw them out there. I'll put up a poll. And you guys can vote on what you want to be called. But if no one else has any ideas, I think we're going to call ourselves the Bacon Bits. Sounds like a good shirt. Oh, man, that reminds me, guys. I'm still looking at putting together Patreon. You guys, you have to tell me what you want as your Patreon tiers. You know, what you would get from that. Because I've been looking at starting some merchandise. Just something small. Just maybe some T-shirt designs. Maybe some pins. I don't know. Like that little bacon icon that I have. Maybe little pins of that. People are interested in that. But, yeah. Matt. Thank you so much, Matt. Thank you. How do you do? Jaden, I have no idea. I don't know how any of this works. You definitely don't have to, but it's greatly appreciated. Just call him drunk. Can you imagine? Jeremy Hughes, you're crazy, man. You're crazy. Something I sound like when I'm drunk, by the way. Pins. All right, we got people liking pins. Oh man, I really should just call. You guys are distracting me. All right, but I just what's about? Oh yeah. APR 1125. There were some rumors. There's a rumor that it's Amir, his attorney, Amir Ladan, and it sounds very similar to Amir, but I don't know. That would be. I had an entire video on it that I was putting out until someone who I trust to have good information on this. I'm not going to reveal all my sources, folks, but they gave me an actual name of an employee. I was going to put out a video comparing Amir's voice, who is, again, Jeremy's attorney, to the caller. and there were a lot of similarities. It wasn't enough for me to be like, nope, this is for sure. And I'm not trained as a voice analysis expert, but I do have a name, so I think it was potentially an employee. Yeah, there. I mean, it. Not all of the thing is there are a lot of clips of mere talking, and some like there's one of them that sounds very very close. Not all of them do though, so it's I don't know. That was a big thing that I was gonna be like, oh, look at this information. It was gonna be I was really looking forward to it, and then someone's like, no, it's actually this employee. Here's the actual name, so on and so forth. So unfortunately, I think it was just the regional accent was very close and it was throwing me off, and the tone was very similar. But yeah, no, I have a name. I think it is an employee. But him getting out of the impersonating a cop charges. No, I didn't see that. Link that in the chat. Oh man, Jane, thank you so much, Jane. You guys are amazing. This is going. I'm gonna put together like a spreadsheet and throw it to you guys to show you exactly where this money is going and what I'll be buying with it for the Green River shenanigans for the equipment. You guys are amazing. Wait, who's getting a year in jail in Illinois? You guys are distracting me. Here I am trying to call Metro State. No, I love it. Keep distracting me. You asked a psychic. No, the Red Fox. I'd love to know more about the impersonating cop. All I can do, I'll check his court records. Since hey, it's Florida. I mean, we could do that together. You know what? Let's call Metro State. And then afterwards, we'll see what's going on with the case. Because I'm pretty sure he still has a court hearing on like the 17th about the arraignment. He hasn't even like formally been charged. Oh. Chicago. That's right. I was confused about Illinois. That's right. You got a year for that? Oh, oof. Well, that would do it. He did lie about it. Well, yeah. There's a chance that he was just confused. I don't know. There's a lot wrong with a lot of his paperwork from all of that. That's a whole thing. I don't think they ever brought charges against him for impersonating an officer in Illinois, though. Well, yeah, here's the thing. Where he was talking with him lying about being arrested. The way he said it, maybe he felt like he wasn't arrested because he was released, and he believed that being arrested means pretrial confinement. I don't know. If they never contacted him with a court date, like they might have generated the paperwork but never actually sent it to him. He has a defense for it. But is he... How legit is that? I mean, that would be worth talking to him about, being like, all right, dude, are you lying to us or not? I'm trying to keep an open mind about the whole thing. I'm not trying to jump to conclusions. I certainly don't like making assumptions where I can understand the other side of something or the defense to it. Not that I don't do that. It's just if I can help it. If I realize I'm doing it, I'll try to not. How's it going, bless your heart? You guys are popping. Oh man, we have so many viewers now. Oh yeah, no, he has some felonies. Yes. All right. I feel like we should start some shenanigans. All right. Shkablamo. All right. There's a number. It's a public number, so I'm going to put it right there. Whatever. Generally, I don't like to broadcast that, but since you guys could all find this yourself and they put it there for people to call, I encourage you not to spam that number. What is going on with my lighting? That's weird. Anyway, my lighting's really weird right now. Tyler. Yeah, I encourage you not to spam that number. because that will make it more difficult for me to actually have a conversation with them. But for real, what is happening with my lighting? Hold on. That doesn't matter. No, you haven't missed anything. We haven't called yet. I don't know that we're going to have like an actual interview today. All right, we're going to see what happens. There's a good chance we're going to end up scheduling it for later, or I'm going to give my email to schedule it later. So, yes, enough stalling. Let me pull up my Google Voice here. Just put that away. Put that up. Move my tabs around. No, do not call Flood. Do not do that. Please. Oh, I have a unread message. Oh, yeah. Okay. Here we go. No, hey, look, I'm highlighting the number to copy it. Don't flood them. I got to get through to them. Behave yourselves. Here, tell you what I'll do. Boom. There. I kind of wanted to put his mugshot up right next to me, but no, we're gonna be nice. We're gonna be nice. All right, shh. We're calling. Okay. Here we go. Ah, no, it's going through the wrong audio. Hold on. We're going to try that again in just a second. Here we go. All right. One more time. Let's practice run. Here we go.
Thank you for calling Metro State. We apologize, but currently all of our officers are either on another line or in the field. If you leave a detailed message along with the date, time, and contact number where you can be reached, the first available officer will return your call immediately. Thank you for choosing Metro State Special Services, Central Florida's #1 vehicle protection unit.
At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Good afternoon. This is Sergeant Blue from the YouTube channel Blue Bacon. Recently, I received a message from someone who was running your YouTube channel on one of my videos about contacting them, or contacting you, I guess, and setting up an interview with the owner of the company. I am incredibly interested in doing that. I think that would be an incredible opportunity for Mr. DeWitt to give his side of the story. So if you could contact me back by email, that would be sergeantbluebacon@gmail.com. That's Sierra Golf Tango Bravo Lima Uniform Echo Bravo Alpha Charlie Oscar November @gmail.com. That would be fantastic. Thank you so much. I'm using a Google number. But I want you guys to be here when the call happens. So if they're just calling me willy-nilly, then you guys won't be there for it. Do you like my phonetic spelling, though? Look, he claims, allegedly, he has claimed that he is a soldier, so that shouldn't be confusing to him. Be all tactical with it. That is the correct phonetic everything. So, yeah, we'll see. I'll let you guys know if there's an email. I'll definitely put it in my Discord. And then if it doesn't work, he'll pick up a second time. Do we think he'll pick up a second time? I could give him my number, but he may be in jail. Oh, you do ham radio? I used to do ham radio back when I was a wee lad. My dad made me do it. He was big into ham radio. It's a good time. Matt K. You know, I'm going to show that one. All right, let's give it a few minutes. And then we'll try again. And then we'll just hang up if it goes to voicemail. I want to be spamming his voicemail. Oh, jail. There's always that, yes. All right, Bacon Bros, Bacon Bits. Hold on. We're talking about what we all want to be called. But Bacon Bros, Bacon Bits. And I'm going to put together a poll to see what you guys like the best. And just because one doesn't get chosen doesn't mean I'm not going to use it for something. Yeah, Jeremy's dispatch center is a cell phone. Yes, it apparently it is. I do think they have something where it does call forwarding to other people. I would assume. I mean, that would be smart. If I were doing it, that's what I would do, and that way multiple people could pick up Baconites. Bacon strips. Its dispatch center ran out of gas. Yes. Yes. That's true. He did say that was his cell. But that doesn't mean he doesn't have some sort of call forwarding from his cell phone to other phones that might be connected to it. Maybe? I don't know. I could be just making this up. I might be giving him too much credit. Bacon Cult. I don't know if I want to associate myself with the name Cult. Though. I might give some people the wrong idea. What service? You mean? I think you mean military service. Supposedly Army. So, Sergeant Bacon Jr. Y'all can be the Corporal Bacons. Oh, this weighted blanket. Moving us. Get it up! God! It's not that heavy. Yeah, the Manson Merb cult. That's one of the things I don't want to become. Bless your heart. I'm actively trying to avoid associations with that type of thing. I don't want that to be what my channel becomes, is having a cult-like following. If you guys think I'm wrong, if you disagree with what I'm saying, let me know. We can have a talk about it. I'm not going to be perfect with my information. It's going to be hopefully good information. But if you think that I'm making mistakes, absolutely let me know. Some people, I mean, with my my serial killer stuff, some people have corrected me on a few things. It's been amazing because it's been very helpful. Yes, he supposedly, according to Carlos, I believe it was, said that he was a Special Forces weapons sergeant. Let me check that. Hold on. Special Forces weapons Sergeant. Now, Carlos being the second guy I called. 18 Bravo, I believe, U.S. Army. So, now, yeah. Which call? We're talking about the one that just happened? Yeah, his timeline doesn't really work for the military, I don't think. It's possible, but it's, I'd say less likely than likely. It is possible, though. All right, yeah, okay, so, yeah, for those of you who are just tuning in, we attempted to call the Metro State number. It went to voicemail, but we know that it is occasionally picked up because we called yesterday and someone did pick up and they said call during business hours between Monday and Friday. I went, oh, okay, cool. So that's what we're trying to do right now. So I called, went to voicemail. I gave them my email, which now all of you have. If you guys want to send me an email, feel free to do so if you've got good information on something that you want me to check. Meanwhile, let's look into Mark Lofton. Why not? Mark Lofton. Oh, goodness. There's a whole lot of stuff in this guy. Oh, here's a case. So he, Mark Lofton, DUIs. Did he kill people? Victims of Officer Mark Lofton. What? Yeah, joined the Army after being bored with police. More like being kicked out of the opportunity to join the police. Rangers. Oh my God, Skull! If he had talked to, well, it'd be a drill sergeant because the Army. But if he had talked to a drill sergeant like that, I'd pay money to see. Oh, I'm getting a phone call. Hold on.
Call from
Metro State.
to accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2. Okay, I've sent the caller to voicemail. Goodbye.
What? No, don't send the voicemail. What? Why would you send it to? No, that's not what I pressed. You. What just happened? No, I gotta call back. Wait, we gotta see if they. What just happened? Google Voice, you piece of garbage. Oh, I'm so mad. No, I gotta call back. I gotta go back. All right, hold on. Hold on. Okay, serious face. We're doing this for real. All right, we're calling.
Metro State.
Good afternoon. This is Sergeant Blue. I'm sorry I missed your call just now.
Yeah, I just got your voicemail. I will forward that to Mr. DeWitt as soon as he gets back into the office. He's currently out on a funeral right now.
Okay.
And then I guess he could probably email you and set up a time. That would be better instead of playing phone tag.
Absolutely.
And missing each other.
That would be amazing.
So I will have him email you as soon as he gets back from the escort he's on right now and go from there.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Bye. Hold on. He can't be on a funeral right now. Unless they're just saying that to keep up appearances, which would make sense. That did kind of sound like him. I'll be real with you guys. It did sound like him. If I had to guess, he's now contacting his lawyer and saying, "Is this a good idea?" If that is him, all right. If that is him, saying, "Should I do this interview?" I personally think he should. I'm not out to get him. I'm not trying to screw him over. I just think there's a lot of information I'm putting out about him that is very one-sided, and it doesn't seem entirely fair. So it would be, I think, appropriate to at least try to figure out what's going on from his point of view. What was that bleep? Oh, is that my Discord? It's very loud. Well, I gotta turn that down. That was kind of bonkers, guys. Yeah, I'm probably gonna get an email. I'll share the email with you guys once I get it, probably, depending on the email. I can't, maybe there's be something crazy in there I can't share. But if I know lawyers, and I do, I'm just gonna say no, don't have that conversation. But I mean, otherwise, if we don't hear from him, I'm gonna keep telling the Jeremy DeWitt story. I'm gonna keep telling it with what I have. So if there's something that needs to be corrected, it should be corrected. And I think it should be corrected by him from the actual source. I think that's going to be the best way to sort of be like, oh, here's what's actually happening. Otherwise, I have other information that I can put out, but it's going to be from a very specific point of view because I have nothing to counter it. So, it's a whole thing. Yeah. I should have told him I was recording that call. I told him I was on stream, though. Oh, well. Next time. Things to remember. Yeah, I know you're right, Eric. You're right. I mean, I told him in the voicemail I left that I was in the middle of a stream. So... hey, if he wants to press charges, all right. But there was no intent. It was just, oh, I got a call in the middle of the stream and it was hooked up to this. Darn. Oh, well. I think we'll survive that if he tries to make a fuss about the fact that he called in during a live stream. Mr. G, GST 360. It just happened. It wasn't much of a call. They said that they'd email me. Well, it doesn't always mean published recording. Maybe... I don't know. And then there's the idea of, is it a private conversation or not? Should they expect it's a private conversation? They're calling the meet. Well, the Porsche guy did press charges. Good. Eric Brandt was just found guilty in both charges. Was he really? Oh, if you send me a link to that, I would love to see it. Because you know how I feel about Eric Brandt. Gary. He's been guilty since birth. All right, well, I don't really know what to say now. We got them on the phone. That's pretty exciting. That's fun. And hopefully you get an email. We will see. Oh, Scott, who's Brandt? He's a First Amendment auditor who, I think he was the one that was charged with threatening a judge. He had a video where he's like, look, we need to shoot public officials, keep them in line, target your local judge today, basically. So, it's, he's interesting. He's, it's the whole thing. But, oh yeah, he's just someone that I've discussed on this channel before. I'm gonna really did sound just like him, didn't he? Maybe it was me talking tactical that made him want to call me back. But it certainly did sound like him. I think he said those things like, "Oh, he's on a funeral detail right now." I don't think he's on a funeral detail. I'm sure. I absolutely do not think he's on a funeral detail. On a, what is it, Wednesday? Yeah, on a Wednesday. Possible. Seems highly unlikely, especially with the charges against him. But I think they're just doing that to keep up appearances. Bacon Nights. I'll add that to the list. Sorry, I think you said that a few times. Bacon Nights. Oh, goodness. My C key just stuck. He only got 6 months time served. Oh, Ian got 6 months time served. I mean, he was... that's fair. But he got something at least. I don't think it's necessarily enough, but 6 months time served, fine. I think I might have the office addressed, Carlos, but yeah, no. So if you do that, if you show it to me, that'd be great. I'm not gonna turn down information. Yeah, Ian McGuire. Oh, Gary, you and me both. I'm waiting for Ian McGuire. Let's see what happens with that. And yeah, Anselmo. I mean, Anselmo isn't as bad as a lot of them. He's not terribly good at it. He gets a lot wrong, and he refuses to learn. And that's the thing that frustrates me. Yeah, it's easy to get things wrong about the law, but then going out of your way to not learn what you got wrong, that's a problem. And I've reached out to him. I've had a conversation with him through the comments section. He was very not interested in what I had to say. And I think it was because I was law enforcement. He thought that I didn't know what I was talking about, when in fact, being law enforcement is one of the reasons I do know what I'm talking about. So it seems weird that he would dismiss what I have to say because I am knowledgeable about it. But that's the whole thing. Taylor, you didn't miss much. I'll tell you what. Oh yeah, federal charge. Forgot about that. I'm thinking of Ian. I don't know. Yeah, Taylor, there was not much of a call. We called. They didn't answer. They called, and Google Voice put it to voicemail when for whatever reason. And then I called back, and they said that they would send me an email trying to schedule something if possible. He did say that Mr. DeWitt, I'm going to start being polite now because I might have to talk to him. Excuse me, I might have the opportunity to talk to him. He did say that he was out doing a funeral right now, which I don't believe. Yes, Ian McGuire, also known as Hate the State. Before that, yeah. What was his first YouTube channel that got deleted? I don't know. Yeah, Anselmo does not understand the First Amendment and its limitations. I did a video on Anselmo. That's Anselmo Morales Torres. He goes by the name of Auditing America on YouTube. And he goes around filming things and gets mad at police when like, hey, what are you doing, bud? Okay, fair. But I did a couple videos on him. And one of my favorites was he's in Washington, D.C. And I remember one of you saying that you're in Washington, D.C. And he was filming the Capitol building. He wasn't filming the building itself necessarily. He was filming a security checkpoint. So a police officer with either narcotics or probably a bomb-sniffing dog walked the dog around him and then started to walk away. And someone was like, "You can't sniff me. That's a violation of my Fourth Amendment rights," which it isn't. But I made a video on it. It was a good time. I had a lot of faces that I was making at him in the corner, which I was kind of proud of. Yeah, stolen valor. So is it stolen valor if he claims that he was the military? Only if he's gaining from it. You're right, Taylor. But if he's building a reputation for his company based on stolen valor, if he's using that to be like, I'll protect you because I was, special forces, I would consider that stolen valor. Yes. Otherwise, it is freedom of speech and all that, freedom of expression. But I believe he is gaining from that. If that is something he's doing. And again, I've never heard him say it specifically, so I'm going to keep an open mind. But Carlos has said that that is something that he puts out to people that work for Metro State. Or people in Metro State put that out on his behalf, whether or not he's told them. So, yes, he probably is listening to everything, which is one of the reasons I'm trying to be polite. Because, again, Mr. DeWitt, I'm not your enemy here. It's just, I have a very one-sided thing. I'd love to have the other side. So if you're paying attention, please, I'd love to have a conversation. George, I would probably keel over if I got a good sniff of Anselmo. And he was, I mean, the people that were doing it, it was the, I mean, it was a federal agency. They're not dumb. Right? When it comes to law enforcement, like, you don't, it was the Capitol Police, something or other. Their job is to protect the Capitol, basically. They know what they're doing, for the most part. So, for him to try to, fight that fight with them, it just made him look foolish. I would not have posted that video if I was him. Some of you guys have been saying I should, who was the guy that jumped out of the airplane with the bags of cash? Between Washington and Oregon. Who was that guy? Disappeared, parachuted out. He hijacked a plane, parachuted out. DB Cooper, that's right. That's in my area. Some of you were saying that I should do some videos on that. Yeah, DB Cooper. I don't know. Once I'm done with my shenanigans with the Green River Killer, you think I should go check out DB Cooper? Oh, Carlos is calling to it out. Why do I still have these on? They're so comfy. I can't help it. They found this. They did find some of the cash. Yes, they never found him. They didn't find all the cash. It's a fun story. I'm not gonna turn up anything new. I'm sure. Better people than me have tried, but it would be fun to sort of retrace the whole thing. Just to point out that it happened and the absurdity of it all. A few $100 in cash. I do remember hearing something about that. But they never found his body. They're missing a lot of the cash, too. Like, if I can make a career out of just exploring serial killer shenanigans, I would. Well, I feel like we've accomplished what we set out to accomplish on this stream. I'll have to go and, is it Daryl or Darrell? Oh, hey there, Canada, eh? It's up in the Great White North. Love Canada. Yeah, it was, I mean, I don't think D.B. Cooper lived. The Pursuit of D.B. Cooper. Oh, well, I'll put that in my thing. The Pursuit of D.B. Cooper. Oh, nice. Oh, yeah, I'll be checking that out. All right. Anyway, what else? We got anything else to talk about while we're here? Yeah, I'm guessing animals got to him. Oh, jeez, I'm too close to my camera. Oh, what's up, guys? Where's Kemper? Where's Ed Kemper these days? Ed Kemper location. Google. Where is Ed Kemper now? He is in California. That's not too far from me. That would be fun. That would be a good time. Ah! There's a microphone there. I don't know if you guys knew. What is this? What is this? Get out of here, you. Little hair. I do like taps. The whole ghost investigations. Why is this? What is this doing? You know, he probably... I bet a lot of people are reaching out to him now with shows like Mindhunter. If you guys haven't seen Mindhunter, oh, I love Mindhunter. Let me tell you. Yeah, there aren't too many of the classic serial killers left. There's Sam... What's the guy's name? I don't know anything about him. Not Son of Sam. Sam Little. Convicted in 2012. A lot of bodies associated with him. He was convicted of very few, though. He's 79, yeah. What do I think is going to come from this coronavirus? I think there are going to be issues. I think it's being downplayed on some ends. I think it's being panicked about on other ends. My concern is that people panicking and overflowing hospitals, and then hospital people getting sick, and then, you know, what's going to happen. So, I have some concerns. I'm not going out and, you know, buying masks and, you know, bubble boying it up, but I think I'll survive if I get it. I'd rather not get it, but I think that it's going to be a problem, and it's going to pass, and we're all going to be fine. So long, Carlos. Thanks for joining us. But I'm no expert in... I'm no expert on coronaviruses. So I think Metro State is behind the coronavirus. They wanted more. They wanted more people for funerals. If it started with Florida, if the coronavirus started in Florida, I would absolutely make a video, just a spoof video about that. He was their father. Oh, speaking of serial killers being people's fathers, there's this incredible documentary on, I want to say Hulu, about this guy who was adopted. He found out who his father was, and he started to put together these puzzle pieces that allegedly proved that his father was the Zodiac killer. And, oh, it was so good. I'm not going to give out the spoilers for the end of it, but it was worth watching. It's a 4-part series, and they do such a good job. And it's just... Yeah, no, it's the ending, the last 2 episodes. Let me tell you guys. It's just... I don't want to give anything out because I don't want to ruin the emotional roller coaster, but don't forget to salute, do it on the phone. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Who is this about 33,000? Jim Can't Swim does videos on true crime. Jim Can't Swim. I might steal some ideas from him. Not really. I just want to see what other people are looking for. And then make sure I'm putting out information people like. Not stealing. Get out of here. How dare you? I have not experienced a toilet paper shortage. I know that there is a toilet paper shortage here. I haven't gone out to buy any more. So, but yeah, no. Apparently, Costco's around here are kind of crazy. What did I watch? Let me see if I can. Hulu Zodiac Killer. Let me put it out for you because it was so good. Oh, The Most Dangerous Animal of All is what it was on Hulu. The Most Dangerous Animal of All, and it is, if you're into serial killers and investigations and all of that, it is worth watching. All right, I'll definitely check out Jim Can't Swim. Heck yeah. I feel like, I don't know, now that I've started talking about Jeremy DeWitt and the Green River Killer, it would feel weird to go back to, sovereign citizens and First Amendment auditors. And I have other videos I'm going to be making for sure. But it's, I don't know, now I'm looking into much bigger things. It's like, who cares about that stuff anymore? But I will. I'm going to put out a few more videos for sure about some auditors, and then, because I've already written the scripts, I might as well put them out. And then I got a few more things on sovereign citizens because they just fascinate me. And then so on and so forth. We'll see. We'll see what direction the channel goes. I'm not going to put out videos on things that people don't care about. I'm not going to consistently do that. So, Super Troopers is pretty great. My concern is people are like hoarding the stuff. Like, did you not already have soap? Is that not a thing you already used? Can you explain why you weren't already washing your hands? It's weird. Oh, there's a Super Trooper show. I'll be watching that. That's for sure. I love Super Troopers. Anyway, I should probably start winding this down. I might go out to some of the Green River Killers just to sort of scout it out. So I might have more information about that for you, depending on what my schedule looks like. Tacoma FD, I imagine it's fire department. I'll check that out. It's not Tacoma where? Oh, goodness. Oh, no. Oh, no. Tacoma, Washington. Guys, everything's happening here. I live in Tacoma. Well, in the Tacoma area. Oh, goodness. Yes. Oh, are you kidding? Fire department absolutely fights with police department. We hate each other. I'm just kidding. No, we respect each other. But there are times where it's kind of like, are you kidding me? From both sides. Police officer blocks in an area the fire department has to go into. Understandably upset. Fire department takes a while to, get to a thing they need to be at. Understandably upset. Let me tell you a story, guys. I actually almost got killed by a fire department vehicle. We were going to a call. I think it was a domestic violence call. Someone had been assaulted, so we had medics en route, one of the two, depending on how you pronounce it. And it came to an intersection. Lights, sirens on. When you get to an intersection, you change up your sirens. So you have your standard like woo woo, and then I'll hit the horn a bunch. So that people know you're at the intersection and to, stop. And so I start to go. and some EMS van just right through the intersection. Like, I was at the intersection first. I slowed down. I checked to make sure no one's going through. And I started to pull forward, and they must have been going 80 miles an hour through that thing. And I went to the call. I did my job. And I went back to the police station, and I just started yelling. And I went to the front desk. I'm like, I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you. You have nothing to do with this, but you will send an email to whoever's in charge of that police station. I'm sure there's a lot of swearing. And you will tell them to get their people in line, because I almost died today, right? And I was just, I was knife handing. I lost my mind, because it was so incredibly dangerous, what they did. And, I'm not saying, police officers, obviously they make mistakes too. And it was a mistake. I was just like, I was really rattled, because that was almost me, dead, just T-boned. And there was another incident. I'm saying bad things about fire department. I love the fire department. I think they do a great job. Most of them. There was an incident where it was a huge windstorm. And, it's story time. I'm going to tell you a story. A huge windstorm. So there was a tree that came down outside of the base that I worked on. But it was within our property. So I went out there because some woman had hit the tree and just, gone up it and rolled sideways, and she was fine. She might have had a little cut, but she was a little rattled. We were just waiting for someone to come grab her, and I was blocking the road. I had my lights on so that people could see it, and I was redirecting traffic, turning them around, that sort of thing. And we had local police show up as well to redirect, just to assist. And oh my God, it was so windy, and you could hear trees breaking apart around us. And it was like your classic old cop and new cop, which is great to see. It's always fun to see that happen. This old grizzled guy just yeah, windstorm, and the new guy, there would be this crack in the woods, and the new guy would go to he put his hand on his weapon, and there was this moment where the old cop's like, "Are you going to shoot the tree as it comes down on you? I don't know what you expect." This guy was pretty fresh. He was great though. They were very friendly, and so we're sitting there just waiting for a crew to come to remove the tree and the vehicle. Tow truck driver loved it. He's like, what is this? Why is this vehicle sideways? It was great. But as we're standing there, we see this flashing light in the woods. And we're like, we got to go check that out. I think that's a down power line. So I grab the fire extinguisher out of the back of my patrol car, and we go check it out. And yes, as a matter of fact, it is a power line that goes through the woods. It had been blown over. The power line had snapped, and it was just arcing electricity, just this ball. It wasn't like a line of electricity. It was just a ball. It was. I've never seen a ball of electricity like that, probably or ever. It just, it was weird, and it was igniting the grass around it on fire. There were 5-foot flames, and it was very localized because there was a little bit of a drizzle, so it didn't go far. But I'm like, hey, I got my radio. Hey, dispatch, we have a fire in the woods. By where that downed tree is. And they're like, oh, okay, we'll alert fire. This is 3 a.m, right? We'll alert fire. We'll have them en route. Can you tell us exactly where it is? I'm like, well, if you get to the tree and you look into the woods, it's there. I don't have markers for it. It's in the woods. They're like, well, how will they know that there's a fire? I'm like, if they get here, they will see it and they will know, right? I'm just like, what are you talking about? How will they know they're the fire department? They need to know what a fire looks like. Right, that is, I'm sure, part of their job. So we're waiting. They took 2 hours to get out there. I'm like, things are on fire. By the time they got there, the power had been shut off to that particular line, and the fire had been extinguished because of the drizzle. And it's just, and they got there. They rolled up where's the fire? I'm like, you're an hour and a half, 2 hours late, dude. Where were you? Right, you guys are on call. You sleep in the station. What happened? Oh, I didn't say that to him. I was just kind of thanks, guys, for showing up. And they were mad at me because they had to show up to nothing. I was like, there was something when you should have shown up. I don't know. We respect each other, but there are times where we get frustrated with each other because we have 2 different jobs. And it's hard to know what those jobs are. So there are times where it doesn't seem to make sense, even though it probably does. So there's my little fire department story. They're great, though. I have nothing but respect for them. What do you guys say in the chat while I was rambling? Oh yeah, no, they're. I think the fire department should be trained on what the police do, and the police should be trained on what the fire department do, and I think that would facilitate a better interaction between the two while on scene, because it doesn't make sense not to do that. But I've been told, like, here's what they do, here's what you do, but we never actually trained with them. We never sat down together and talked about it. So I think that's something that should have happened, and I assume in some places it does, but I imagine in a lot of places it doesn't. Oh, talking so long, my throat's closing up. Or maybe that's the coronavirus. It's not closing up, I'm just kidding. So, yeah, the fire department will always have their issues with police, and the police will always have their issues with the fire department. It's a friendly little rivalry for the most part. But I respect them. And I have some very good friends who are firefighters. It's just sometimes just like, I need you here now. Where are you? Right? But thank God for the EMS, for the medical teams, because they know more than I do. So when there's this thing, I'm like, I need someone else here to deal with this. They come out. But I don't know. They get frustrated with us because we'll call them out for a medical emergency, and they're like, "This is not a medical emergency," and we go, "Yeah, but our SOP, our standard operating procedure, is to call you for this. Like, we have to call you for this. I know that you can't do anything, but we have to call. So get that changed higher up. We can't. Sorry." So that's one of the frustrations is again not communicating what the limitations of the jobs are. So, like, can you imagine a private fire department for DeWitt? I don't know. Could you do that? That'd be fun. I could see it. Oh yeah, nurses and police. Also, like, I've brought people to the ER. I brought babies to the ER. We had one with just a couple that was out by the beach, and they were feeding their baby. I'm talking like 6-month-old baby, beer. The baby got drunk. We had to take it to the hospital, and we arrested the parents for child abuse, or some similar charge. And I did not know what to do. I don't know much about dealing with babies, and so the nurses were very, very helpful. But there are times, like, I brought people to get their blood drawn for DUI, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like, I know what to do legally, but like the process of like drawing the blood and testing it, and I was like, tell me all about your job, and they were like, oh, you actually want to know? So private bushfire companies, no, that's neat. That's actually really neat. I know, who gives a baby beer? But they were drunk. They're like, oh, the baby will like it too. And they were arrested. Don't feed your baby beer. That's a good question, Matt. How could he be certified in all these things? Especially when we know that he doesn't even have a security license. Does he have a license for any of it? That's the question. No, they actually fed it to the baby. It wasn't the baby got to it. They fed it to the... It wasn't much. They weren't like pouring like, yeah, shotgun this beer, Dad. They weren't, but they were like, hey, have a sip, right? The baby will like it. And it wasn't much, but it doesn't take much to get a baby drunk. And the baby wasn't like, the baby just sort of like, what? Oh. It was very weird. It was a very floppy baby. They did not feed it much alcohol. It wasn't enough to like be awful for the baby, but it was definitely obviously a concern. Now, man, the stories I could tell you about law enforcement. I don't know. One of these days, maybe I'll just have a stream where I tell you guys stories. Just reading the chat. Just letting it catch up. Oh man, there's a real significant delay between what I'm saying and what's appearing on YouTube. Well, all right, I'll answer that 99. Why did I get out of law enforcement? Because that is, there are people who are like, oh, well, you couldn't hack it. That's not true. I joined the military. I was military police. And I never intended to be in the military for an extended period of time. I ended up re-enlisting once. And then when it came time for a second re-enlistment, I decided, you know what? I think I'd prefer to pursue a civilian profession. I found a profession that was not law enforcement. That was at the request of some people in my life that were concerned about the dangers of it. But it is still involved. It is very similar. It's just I don't go out and actually enforce law anymore. And I got out because I was doing law enforcement through the military. And I loved law enforcement. I like to think I was very good at it. I was a criminal investigator for 4 years, so I must have been doing something right, because they don't just give those out. But it was because I got out of the army, so I got out of law enforcement. I could go back in, but people in my life have asked me to find something a little less dangerous. So, and I know it's not the most. There are more dangerous jobs out there, but there is still a danger. There's definitely still a danger doing law enforcement, and they've. Yeah, am I a PI? I'm not gonna tell you guys what I do. I'll let you guess. I'm not gonna tell you. There's my weighted blanket there. Getting a little warm now. No, it's a great question. It's a great question, Nine, because you do see a lot of people say, "Oh, well, why is someone who couldn't hack it as a police officer trying to tell us things now?" And that is a valid question. That is a valid concern. It's just, in my case, because I was law enforcement for the military, it has some weird differences. A consultant, yes. Am I? You may never know. Yeah, retired Crown Vic. Guys, if I'm just going to put up a Crown Vic fund. I'd pull a Jeremy DeWitt. I'd pull a Jeremy DeWitt and make it look like a police car. I'd get real close and make it black and white. I'd put a little rack on top just to scare people. 100%. Maybe. You know what I miss most about driving those types of cars is the spotlights. You look at the old police cars. They have the spotlights by the mirrors. And there's like a little handle on the inside where you can rotate it. You guys don't. If you've never used those, you have no idea how just useful they are. Yeah, not Metro State. That's my decal. Crown Vics. I've never actually driven a Crown Vic, but I hear very good things. Very good things. Professional instigators. Well, some of them, yes. SGV News First. I'm looking at you, and I bring him up because I'm about to release a video. Hopefully tonight, or in the morning, I don't know, about him, and I'm fond of it. I think it's a good video. The new LED spots. I don't know. I don't know about. I don't know about that. Airsoft AR-15. Jeremy DeWitt is becoming. I wonder if real world police realized how big that whole thing would become. And when he says, Mike, when he says a state certified agent, like, what does that even mean? What he says that it's meaningless. Yeah, I'm thinking next car I get, I might install a spotlight on the side, just because. Oh, guys, it's so useful. Same steps as the old ones, but LED. Oh, those must be amazing. I miss the little tools. I miss my lights and sirens, guys. I miss having those. I miss spooking people with them. When I was an investigator, I drove an unmarked patrol car. And it wasn't like an undercover patrol car. It was just unmarked. And we'd use those. They were important to have because if we were transporting children, we didn't want them in a marked patrol car, just, for their own benefit. Juveniles there's sort of different rules that apply because the whole age thing in children, whatever. But I was in a parking lot, and it was the NCO Academy, Non-Commissioned Officers Academy, and it was sort of the roll call for their new class. So the NCO Academy is where you go there to become a sergeant, right? Not to become a sergeant, but you have to go through the training to become a sergeant. It's like a month long, and just sort of teaches you a bunch of paperwork and how to lead a little bit, and lead both like in squads and in units. And it's nice, it's useful, and I'm glad they have it. But before each class, every month they have this sort of roll call thing where you bring your soldiers there who are going through the academy, and then all the names are called, and they say if they're going to be present that month or not. And so afterwards, I was sitting in the parking lot, and everyone's leaving, so I'm just waiting for them to all leave. And this guy is driving, like he's in front of me. He stops, and he pulls out his cell phone, like right in front of me. And I'm on duty, right? I'm dressed like a civilian, but I'm an investigator on duty that day in the patrol car. And he's on his phone, just, hey, what's up? And he starts driving like real slowly forward. And in Washington State, there are very, very strict laws about driving while using a cell phone. Like, it's ridiculous, which is good. I think that's a good thing. And I just like, are you kidding me? Like, is anyone else seeing this? And I just just hit my siren real quick, honk the horn a little, whoop, and he literally just throws his phone and just slowly turns to me, and I'm like, come on, dude, don't do that. And he's just, okay, and drives off. And it was kind of amazing. Don't use your cell phone while driving, guys. It's dangerous. Forward takedowns. I do useful, very useful. Yeah, no, cell phones are no joke, guys. It can wait, or get a hands-free device or something. Train a monkey to text for you. I don't know, but please, I've seen a lot of accidents from it, and I've never been to like a really bad accident that was caused by texting, but you're playing a dangerous game. Yeah. Washington State. I'm in the Tacoma, Seattle area. You're probably not that far from me. It's a nice area. A lot of rain. Very wet January and February we had. APR 1125 is in the chat. All right, for those of you who don't know, APR is the first caller from Metro State who called in to talk about Metro State as far as the discrediting information, not discrediting you exactly, but basically some of the things you said about, was it Sergeant Fiddler, I think, breaking into the office. I have reason to believe that is not true. I'm not going to share it now. To sort of, because I'm still investigating that. I've reviewed the case regarding the barbershop, and it doesn't really seem to have gone down the way that was stated. But I have requested Fiddler's personnel file, and I will be reviewing it. And so I'm trying to keep an open mind, but I don't think it's as strong a case against Fiddler as was first put out. Now, when you say entering the office, do you mean like actually walking through the door, or breaking the plane, as it were? Right? That's really my biggest question is, did he walk into the office unlawfully? Or did his body cross the threshold? Oh no, he was sued successfully. But from what I understand, having contacted people involved with that, because I've called the police department, they were very confident they could have won, but the cost to win would have been in excess of what it cost to settle, so they had settled. But the way that was run, from what I've seen, and I'm still waiting for that file, and I could be wrong, but the way that it was run seemed to point the blame at the licensing agency. Okay, so he didn't actually enter. He opened the window. Now there are 2 officers and a third individual in that video. I have seen that video. And I have been informed, because this was a concern of a public concern, so I did request that. I've been informed that Jeremy shares an office space with another individual. That other individual got locked out and was asking Bidler and the other officer he was with if they could find a way to open the door for him. They rested their hands on a windowsill, and I'll see if I can get permission to show you guys this video. Rested the hands on the windowsill, basically said, "I can't get in there for you. Have a nice day." But he had permission to cross that threshold from the other owner of that office. Now, if that's wrong, I would love to know if there isn't a shared office. But I mean, it certainly doesn't support this idea that he was breaking and entering into the office. I would love to be proven otherwise. I think that would be one hell of a story if I'm wrong. I was kind of disappointed, that it didn't show what I was hoping it would show, which is some crazy newsworthy event. But from what I've seen, well, burglary, that depends on the state. In some states, it's only burglary if it happens at night, and it's only burglary if it's an actual residence. But that depends on the state. So, a strange green light in your room or something. Oh yeah, no, that's the green screen is weird. It's because if I have the green screen on full, the gold in the microphone doesn't show up. I really like the gold in the microphone. Hey, what's up, Nasty Nathaniel? Yeah, it's because I'm about to be abducted by aliens. 9-9. So, would it be burglary? Probably not. Because burglary is, you have to enter a residence generally with the intent to commit a crime. So, was he the intent to commit a crime? Depending on what laws of the state, is it, was it at night? Was it during the day? It was during the day, folks. So, we're talking about, I don't know the Florida state law for burglary, but I don't know, APR, if you have any other information. BS, man, there's nobody else who owns the office. We had an employee former who's intimidating, coerced into becoming an informant, so to speak. Okay, well, but I'm not seeing any police wrongdoing, because even if that wasn't an owner of the building, if the police reasonably believed that he was, he was just asking them, hey, are you able to open this for me? I've been locked out of my own office. Yes, one of them rested their hands on the windowsill. But was there an intent to commit crime? No. Do I think it was a criminal activity? No. And I understand the concern. I absolutely do. But it certainly, I think the way that you said it would lead people to believe that something very different had occurred. In Florida, let's look up Florida burglary statute, because now we're all up in this business. Florida burglary statute. We're going to learn things today together, folks. All right, for offense committed, no. Entering a dwelling, a structure, or conveyance with the intent to commit an offense therein, unless the premises are at the time open to the public. So there would have to be the intent to commit some sort of criminal offense. All right, so Florida does not have the requirement for it to be at night. A dwelling. Hold on, is it dwelling or structure? All right, dwelling, a structure, or a conveyance. So a car, a building, or a house. So that covers that. Really what we're looking at is, did he have permission to do it? So if the other person who said, hey, can you get in here for me? I've been locked out of my own office. They did not have permission to make that request or to give him permission to break the plane across the threshold. If he had permission, there's nothing there. There is no crime. If he didn't intend to commit some sort of crime upon entry, it's not a burglary. So either way, the employee had no permission to enter the office, nor are the police locksmiths. Yes, I think that was the reason why they didn't enter the office, because he's like, I'm not a locksmith, you'll have to call a locksmith. Right? So the employee, the question is, did that person have permission to try to get police to open that door? One. And would it be reasonable for the police to believe that they had permission? Right? So just based on the video that I've seen, I don't see any intent to commit a crime. He rested his hands on the windowsill, and they walked away. So, pictures from inside the office. I don't remember. You know what? I don't remember him taking pictures unlawfully. If he had permission from an employee, he can take those pictures. I mean, at the very least, he's got, some qualified immunity. Maybe not qualified immunity would be appropriate, but he has a defense. What's the intent? So, I'm just putting it out there because having reviewed this, I don't think there's much of a legal argument to be made that he was. Police cannot enter unless it's hot pursuit, an emergency, or with a warrant, or if they have permission. You're talking about exigent circumstances. Having permission to enter is not an exigent circumstance. Next, Nathaniel, we're talking about Sergeant Vidler of the Orlando County Police. There's a video of him entering the office of Mr. DeWitt, supposedly unlawfully. However, I've seen the video, and it appears that he and another officer were called to that office because an employee or co-owner of that office, as I've been told, was locked out. And so one of them rested their hands on the windowsill, and it did cross the plane or the threshold of the window. And technically, his hands did enter the building. So right now we're talking about, is that unlawful? Is it burglary? I say no, because there is no intent to commit a crime by doing that, and he had permission to try to open that office from at the very least, an employee. At the very least. And I understand the argument being made, but if the police believe the intent was to trespass, not only take pictures, if he had permission from that person to take those pictures, there's no problem. But would it be reasonable for the officer to know that employee could not do that? Oh no, you're fine, asking thing. You're fine. Let me check my notes on this, because I have a few pages of notes. I'm seeing that was the landowner. That was the landowner who owns the land that building is on. He should have access to that property if he's a landowner, right? How's it going, Timothy? Well, if he was called to the office, why would it be... Yeah, if the landowner says, hey, You know, I've been locked out of this building, which I have the right to access because I own this land. Police, can you come and help me get in? And the police show up, and it happens to be Vidler, who is one of the officers who's doing a lot of paperwork on the DeWitt case. Well, okay, maybe we can argue that there's a conspiracy here to be all up in DeWitt's business. On the other hand, maybe he was just in the area. He was asked to perform a function. He said, no, I cannot do that. He had permission to be doing what he's doing from the owner of the land. Right? So, he should be... Why would he be at your office? Because he was called there by the landowner. Let me see if I can pull up the video to review. I'm not going to share it because I don't know if I have permission to share it. Sergeant Vidler was not called anywhere. He is not a patrol deputy, nor is he ever dispatched anywhere. He's a motor unit with the exclusive responsibility of traffic enforcement, nothing more. Yes, sometimes traffic patrols go and help out on these sorts of things. I'm watching it right now. Okay, here's one officer. There's two officers. They're looking in. And clearly this is the Metro State office. There are bars in the window. They're looking in. Okay, I'm not seeing anything concerning. It does say United States Army on the wall, so that's interesting. Skipping ahead. All right, so his hand rests on the windowsill within the bars. All right, he's looking. I'm not seeing him take any pictures. I'm absolutely not seeing him take any pictures. No, and maybe you have the video where he's taking pictures, but my video does not show that. So if I'm being sent a video that has been edited, well, you absolutely should send me a longer one. Motor units are never dispatched to calls for services. Yes, they are. What do you mean I know better than that? I was law enforcement. I know how this works. They are sometimes dispatched to that sort of thing. We can see he's in uniform. So he's obviously on duty. I get that you're trying to make this case against him. I'm just not seeing it. If APR, if you have a different video, please send it to me at sergeantbluebacon@gmail.com. I would love to review it. If I'm being sent information that is bad, well, that's not going to look good for whoever's sending it to me, right? And I'm trying to report this story as best as I can. But if I'm not getting information that's relevant, and all I have is stuff that's been edited to show an innocence of one side or the other, that's obviously not going to be great. Certainly at the moment, it's not looking great for Metro State, because Metro State has not been providing me information about this. All I want is to put out this story, right? And if you guys, I was very excited about the information you originally sent me, right? But looking at it, it's there are things that just aren't matching up. Metro motor units. Now, I've looked up Sergeant Keith Vidler. All right. Let's see. 2016, he was one of the first responders to the Pulse nightclub shooting. With that case with the barbershop, he was a responder there. So is he only doing this motor? Is he only a motor unit, or is he only sometimes a motor unit? Is he a motor unit at all? So I've seen motor units get dispatched to things because they're just in the area and there's nothing else going on. Absolutely, I've seen that. Now, you're saying he's a motor unit. I don't know that he's a motor unit, and even if it was a motor unit, it doesn't really mean that much. Now, if you can prove to me, and now the burden of proof is on you, right? Because you're saying these things, and I would love it if you were able to prove this. I really would. I would love if you could show me that Vidler was doing awful things. If you can show me that he was never dispatched to that location, that's huge, and I will report on that. But right now, the information I have does not support what you are saying. And I'm not against you. I'm not fighting you. I'm not trying to discredit you in any way. But the information I have does not match the information that I have received from you. To fix that, I'm going to need more information. Please, send me more information. And I've requested personnel files on Vidler, so that information will be in there. But we're waiting for that right now. I've seen motor units responding to this sort of thing. That's what I'm saying, is maybe, you're right, Nasty Nathaniel. If there are no other units in the area, right, well, someone has to show up. If everyone else is tied up, for example, if there are bigger calls going on everywhere else, absolutely a motor unit will be sent over there. They can't just not send someone. So, I'm trying to remain a little bit impartial here, but I have a video that I've been sent, and I don't have anything to counter that. All right. So I have another video from another angle that I'm watching. Again, I'm not going to be sharing it. I get that you're saying it's not possible. I would like to see some evidence that it's not possible. We have a man standing outside the office. We have two officers that are very clearly in uniform, and they look like they're wearing the boots. I don't know what their uniform would be, but they're obviously on duty. APR, if you're gonna claim that he's breaking in, I'm gonna need evidence that he's breaking in. All we have right now is he showed up at an office to a call that he was locked out. I have a video of a man standing outside talking to them. They looked in the window. Yes, one of them rested their hands inside. I'm not seeing any evidence that they were taking pictures. I'm not seeing any evidence of wrongdoing. So I get what you're saying, but it's just not matching up with what I'm seeing. Timothy Hutz, what was your... Send that to me. Wait. Oh yeah, no, the Las Vegas thing, I agree. Yeah, and he's a sergeant. Like, sergeants have a little more leeway on what they respond to. So, I get that there is this concern. And again, if you have video, and I'm going to be requesting a lot of video, because I saw that a lot was submitted into evidence for the trial. I'm going to be requesting all of it, right? So, obviously it's going to be relevant. They snooped around on multiple occasions. Okay, can't be released yet. That's fine. But right now I have a video that doesn't show that. And I mean, you can allege that the video exists forever, but until I see that video, I'm going to have to be a little cautious with what I believe. Yeah, Vidler is a sergeant. And if he was there snooping, if he had permission to take photos from someone there, and he reasonably believed that that person was and could give permission, he's set. There isn't really much of a legal recourse against him. Oh yeah, no, and every hearing will. And if it shows that the police were doing evil, awful things, you better believe that I'm going to be putting that out here. Camera system was disconnected. Okay. Again, it's easy to make a claim without evidence. And I'm not saying there isn't evidence. I was just putting that out there. And I'm not trying to say that you're wrong. APR. I'm not trying to say you're wrong. I'm just saying that I have to make observations on the evidence that I have been provided. And I get a lot of information, I get a lot of claims. But without evidence, I'm going to be a little cautious about it. But don't worry, I'm going to be talking about this for a while, right? I'm going to be reporting this story for a good long time. No, I get it. I get that you know what the facts are. I don't know what the facts are, in the sense that I don't have as much information as someone like you, I'm sure, would. So I get that you're saying these things, but how do I know? How do I know that they're true? I mean, here's what I can tell you. Jeremy DeWitt has a body camera that is on while he works. While he was working, oh, thank you so much, Matt. While he was working, his body camera captured him committing traffic violations. It captured him potentially committing felonies. He's dressed like a police officer and directing traffic. Not allowed to do that. All right, it captured a lot of things that are certainly a concern. Enough to take him to court. Not necessarily a conviction. He's innocent until proven guilty, right? I can't do. We might have to schedule a live interview later. I have some things I need to get done today. I've been streaming for almost 2 hours now. But I would love to. Set something up in the future for sure. If you email me sergeantbluebacon@gmail.com, let me put that sergeantbluebacon@gmail.com. I mean, we can schedule a time. Absolutely, I would love to discuss this. But as far as what I've seen video that definitely shows some concerning activities by Mr. DeWitt. Enough, certainly, that there would be an investigation by police. Now, as far as the claim, and I'm not saying it's not true, but there is a claim, that Sergeant Vidler broke into the office. I'm not seeing anything that matches that. Now, if there are other videos that exist, and I see them, and they show that he's doing something he shouldn't be doing, well, fantastic. Then we have a whole different story, and I will be pursuing this from a different angle. But right now, the angle I'm seeing is, guy was running a business. Guy did some things wrong, whether or not he meant to. Guy recorded him doing things wrong. Now guy is in trouble. So, if the investigation is being done improperly, I can assume that will come up in court, because that will be, it's going to be an incredible legal defense, and so I'll be watching that very intently. But I do have records requests pending with Orange County, so I'm going to try to get this out to everyone as soon as possible. And if it shows the police doing awful things, well, sucks to be them. Oh, it might be a bit low. Volume might be a bit low. I'm speaking quietly. A little bit. Keep in mind, my main argument here is that Jeremy DeWitt is his own person. It doesn't give law enforcement the ability to intimidate all of the other employees into quitting. Are they being intimidated into quitting? Because from what I've seen, there are a lot of issues going around with that company. A lack of a security license, for example. The things that were caught on camera, another example. There have been a lot of questions raised as to some of the business filings that I would love an answer to. And we've discussed that in my Discord. Just some concerns about some places where he might have erred paperwork-wise. Not saying that he's a bad guy for it, just some concerns. But, we'll see. And I would love to have information that confirms what you're saying. I would love that. If I got statements from those employees that Vidler confronted, if I had that video of Vidler illegally doing things in the office, if I had evidence that he was not called to that office in the first place, or that he does not have the ability contractually or legally to respond to a call to that office, I would love to see it. If there was evidence that the police had allowed this kind of activity and said, yes, you're definitely okay to be doing it the way you're doing it, I would love to see that. It's just that right now no one's providing that to me, right? This story, the way I am putting out this story, is based entirely on what I see. If I'm not seeing it, it's difficult to report on it. A security license is not required for funeral escort. Sure, it is required if you're a security company, which is what DeWitt advertises himself as. And the question has been brought up. If he's not a security company, why does he have handcuffs? Why does he have a baton? Why does he have all these other things? And sure, yeah, it gives him the look, but you don't actually need handcuffs. You just need a handcuff pouch, right? You don't actually need a baton. No one's really going to see it. A radio, some pouches, and a fake plastic gun. He had a gun that shot pepper balls, right? It actually functioned as a less lethal device. And I get the answer is going to be, oh, he's allowed to carry it. All right, assuming that's true, why does he still have it? What is the purpose? To look like a police officer? There are cheaper ways of doing that without becoming a security company. He advertises himself as a security company. He wears the gear of a security company. Pretty sure he needs to be licensed for that. That is my concern. That is, I think, something that's going to come back to bite him, potentially, which is why I bring this up. I don't know that he didn't get called to the office. You say that he didn't get called to the office. He and another officer responded to it. So if there is a lack of information, if there is evidence that he was not called to that, fine. I am tempted to reach out to the landowner and say, did you call someone out to that? In fact, I might do that. I probably will see if I can reach out to them. We'll discuss that in my Discord. But yes, your belt has flashlight, radio, glove pouch, key holder, belt keeper. Great. His has, all right, he's wearing a ballistic vest. He has a pepper ball gun. There might have been a taser. There were handcuffs. There was a baton. All of these are tools used by police and security, right? So there are some significant concerns where he overstepped some lines that he thought he was okay to cross. And now, unfortunately, that has come back to be an issue. I could do a public record request pertaining to that call for service. Have you done a public record request pertaining to that call for service? Have you actually checked? And again, if you have that, that's amazing. And I would love to see it. If I had, ask Nathaniel, if I could justify that financially, I would. To see the decision on what happened. I probably won't. But all right, there's not a call for service on that date. Okay, but Do your sources have information confirming that, right? So you don't have that information. That's fine. I understand that. You've been told by someone who allegedly does have that information. If you can get me that information from, if there's paperwork that has been requested and sent saying no, there was no call for service there, if you can send that to me, that'd be amazing. I have nothing but time. It doesn't have to be today. But if you send me stuff that shows that the police are doing the wrong thing, I will report on it. But right now I don't have any of that. I'm in Washington, Timothy. I'm in Washington State. Oh, the flights are really cheap because of the coronavirus. But look, it might not. They might not still be cheap by the time this actually all goes down, because this is going to be a long fight for him, I think. All right, you have family and friends in the sheriff's office, and that's what I've been told. All right, I've talked to people in the sheriff's office, and I've been told otherwise. So, well, I wouldn't say people in the sheriff's office, but people who are familiar with it. So right now it's a he said, she said situation. I'm sure. You know what? Let me write down a note. Request that as well. I got a whole bunch of stuff I got to request. It kind of is hearsay, isn't it? Request call for service. Do we have the date? Do we have the date where they were called out? Well, I'll see if I can find it. I'll check. Yeah, I'm in Washington State. So I will. Or he could have flagged the sergeant down. That's true. That's absolutely true. I mean, there are a lot of reasons why he could have been there. And yes, it's really easy to say, oh, he was there because he's after DeWitt. But, I mean, there are a lot of other reasonable reasons. Right? So, sheriff's office allegedly told you we can't run amber and purple lights together. Who told you that out of curiosity? Well, I'm going to protect my sources, or otherwise I might not have sources. Right? But they gave me a very good reason for it, and they said because at a distance it looks like red and blue, and I can't really argue with that. And there have been other people in my comment section that say, no, I'm from Florida, you absolutely can't run both. So, now do I agree necessarily that is absolutely true? Well, I'd have to talk to probably an attorney in that area. But News Now Patrick did the public records request for you. He's an expert at that. I might. We'll organize that in my Discord. For sure. Well, that is an assumption, APR. That's something I'm trying to avoid doing. It's making assumptions. And if things were investigated improperly, we'd start to go into the fruit of the poisonous tree doctrine, and stuff will not be admissible in court against him, and that's going to be really, really good for him. So, if that's the case, great. That's going to be very helpful for him. And I'm hoping I get more information on that. I would love to have more information on that. And I get that it's probably a little frustrating that I'm saying, okay, I get what you're saying, but where's the evidence? And it's not that I don't believe you. It's that the evidence I have is not pointing in that direction. But I don't have all the evidence. And I will fully acknowledge that. 100%. Right? I do not have all the evidence, but I'm trying to get more. I'm in the process of getting more. Stuff is trickling in. Right? If you are able to help me, incredible. Absolutely amazing. I'd be so appreciative of that. Well, all right. The sheriff's office is not allowed to give legal advice, nor are they capable of making such interpretations. They are not attorneys, and they haven't passed the bar. But you told me that the highway patrol has allowed DeWitt's activities, even though they seem to go against the statute. Now, are they able to give legal advice or make such interpretations, or is it just the sheriff's department that can't do that? He did have an incident where he had blue lights. Yes, that was in his criminal record. So the question is if the sheriff's office is not allowed to give legal advice, is the highway patrol? Because you told me earlier that the highway patrol, in our other interview, the highway patrol has given permission. I was previously confident in your neutral stance, but now you claim that they specifically told you they passed judgment on a traffic law. I didn't tell you that the sheriff's department passed judgment. I said someone within that organization has given me information to dispute those claims. But the question stands, if the sheriff department can't interpret the law, then why would the highway patrol be able to? So if the highway patrol is giving legal advice like, oh yeah, you can definitely do this, is that okay, and why? Now, I can tell you right now, we are trained to interpret laws. Law enforcement is trained to interpret laws. Not to generate case law. There's a limit to what we can interpret, but we have to be able to reasonably understand the statute. So the highway patrol would absolutely be more capable of interpreting traffic law, yes. But they haven't passed the bar. They aren't attorneys. Just like the sheriff's department isn't. So why would they be more capable of doing that? I'm just curious. That's Florida Highway Patrol would be absolutely more capable of interpreting a traffic law. Yes, the Florida Highway Patrol is the highest authority in the state when it pertains to traffic law. That is why. So they are able to interpret law. But you said that. I'm just trying to understand. They're not attorneys. They haven't passed the bar. So the sheriff's office isn't allowed to give legal advice, nor are they capable of making interpretations because it seems to be how you're implying it. They are not attorneys. They haven't passed the bar. Now, to my understanding, Highway Patrol passing the bar is not a requirement for Highway Patrol either. And I get that the Highway Patrol would be pretty understanding of traffic laws, but I mean, so is the sheriff's department. I knew quite a bit about it. There's just about nothing I couldn't tell you about license plates. Right? Am I Highway Patrol? No. Do I know window tint, license plates, license plate lights, vehicle ambers, your brake lights, all that? Oh man, oh boy, do I. Because I was expected to be able to understand and interpret and know those laws. No, they would not be as experienced. But you're saying that they couldn't do it because they hadn't passed the bar and were not attorneys. I just think the logic there is flawed. Because now all of a sudden you're saying the Highway Patrol can, but they're also not attorneys. So if the condition of being able to interpret the law is that they are an attorney and have passed the bar exam, it just seems like I'm not trying to start anything here. It just seems odd that is the argument that's being made. To extensive training on traffic law. Local sheriff's office do not routinely undergo. Okay. In that case, that's a valid point. So maybe he is wrong about having both ambers and purples and ambers. And that's fine. I'm just giving you the information I've got. And if the highway, if I contact, you know what? I'm going to call them. I'm going to put down my list of things to do. On I'm going to call him. Because I want to know for sure. So, you have convinced me that there's more that I should know. But if you have information that backs up what you're saying, and I'm not saying I don't believe you, I like to remain skeptical about everything. If you have that information, please send it my way, because that would be amazing. And I would love to back you on this. Oh, Timothy, the cops can lie. Yes, there are strict limits on that, though. There are strict limits. I understand that your logic is sound. Your logic is sound on that, APR. I'm going to call him. I'm going to see if I can get any information on that. Maybe I'll send him an email because I can track that a little better. And that way I have evidence that it happened. But I got to go. I've been... this got extended a lot longer than I thought it would. Thank you, everybody, so much for being part of this. You guys have been amazing. Of those of you who donated, oh my God, you're incredible. APR, if you have my email, feel free to reach out to me if you want to schedule that interview. Or if you have any information to send my way, I would be very appreciative of that. But yeah, you guys have a great day. I might go investigate some Green River Killer spots. But all right. Until the next time, be good and stay safe.